Welcome to the Reborn Podcast, the space where faith meets life's complex challenges. I'm Tony Boutros, and in today's episode, we delve into a poignant topic: how sometimes our relentless pursuit of success can inadvertently lead us away from the solutions to our deepest struggles. Reflecting on the biblical insight from James, faith without works is dead. A powerful reminder that our actions are essential to manifest our faith. Today, I share a personal chapter from my life about overworking, missing community support, and finding my way back. Entrepreneurship is demanding. It promises freedom, but often at the cost of unrelenting loneliness and an overwhelming workload. I found myself in such a situation recently, having to reset my business following some setbacks. The irony was, while I worked longer hours hoping to regain control, I was skipping the very gatherings, my men's groups, that provided the support and companionship I desperately needed. I was praying for a way out of loneliness, yet I was avoiding the solution by burying myself in work. It's a common trap. Working more to solve problems that require not just more time at the desk, but a holistic approach. Community, rest, and reflection are often part of the needed solution. The scripture teaches us about balance and action. The faith motivates us to make wise choices, not just hard choices. Faith without works is dead. This isn't just a theological statement, it's profoundly practical. My faith was intact, but my works, my actions, were misaligned with my needs. Despite understanding deep down that attending my men's groups meetings could alleviate my sense of isolation, I allowed the urgent to overshadow the important. For anyone feeling trapped in this cycle, here's what I've learned. First, recognize when work becomes an escape rather than a solution. Man, wow. Read that again. Read that again. For anyone feeling trapped in this cycle, here is what I have learned. Recognize when work becomes an escape rather than a solution. I don't know about you. Okay, I don't know about you, but I profoundly know for a fact that there are probably hours every day where I'm at my computer working, but probably working to 20% of my capabilities. Why? Because I'm burnt out. So now imagine, instead of those couple hours every day, I'm going to these men's group. Then throughout the other times that I am working, dude, I'm 150%. Which way do you think would be better? Probably the second way, right? Here's the second thing. So first thing was recognize when work becomes an escape rather than a solution. Second way, prioritize your support systems. Don't skip those meetings or check-ins that replenish your spirit and mind. I think the thing for this is, and I hate to say it, but I think the thing for this is we don't see them as important as I have, let's say, a business meeting, okay, and it's going to make me 100 grand. Okay, great. And then I have a spiritual meeting, and it's going to rejuvenate my soul, right? It's going to make me perform much better in the next week because I have this mental health and this spiritual health and this connection with God and my brothers around here that are powerful. And this one isn't, I can't push this back a couple hours. It's at the time it's at. Period. The business meeting, I could probably push it back a couple hours. But because I see money on this side, I'm immediately going to that meeting. And oftentimes, even the people in our men's groups, they're going to praise us for it. Because it's like, yeah, man, go get your bag. Yeah. But we know deep down how important these men's groups or these meetings, these spiritual groups that rejuvenate us, we know how crucial these are. So the second one is prioritize your support systems. Don't skip those meetings or check-ins that replenish your spirit and mind. The first one was recognize when work becomes an escape rather than a solution. Lastly, reassess your workload. That's another thing. Can tasks be delegated? Can deadlines be adjusted? Often, the answer is yes. And it's up to us to make these changes. As a business owner, I was listening to Brad Lee earlier, who's a very successful business owner. I think he's in his 50s, 60s, been doing business his whole life. And I saw something that said, hey, instead of trading time for money, what if, and now hear me out, we traded money for time. We paid people to do tasks that we need to get done. These tasks, they need to get done. Okay. Period. But they don't need to get done by us. And that is growth. So, number one, recognize when work becomes an escape rather than a solution. Number two, don't skip meetings or check-ins that replenish your spirit and your mind. Number three, delegate the tasks that can be delegated. Can deadlines be adjusted? Great. Adjust them. Now, I think some of the questions that I probably struggle with myself that I think I get asked a lot of times as well in regards to this kind of stuff is two questions, right? First question is, how can I tell if I'm working too much? And as an entrepreneur, it's like, man, there's no, that's not a thing. Working too much is not a thing. I would counter that by saying this. Look for signs like neglecting personal relationship, consistent fatigue, and feeling disconnected from your community or spiritual practices. As an entrepreneur, I work more than the average person does. But as a Christian, I know that God is first, and I put God first. But now when I'm feeling disconnected from my community, that's inherently, given under, men's groups, that's inherently disconnecting me from God in a sense, right? So am I putting God first? I don't know. Neglecting personal relationships, right? To an extent, you have to as an entrepreneur. Just to be blatantly honest, okay? To an extent, you have to. But when it gets to the point where you're getting consistently fatigued because you're doing that, then again, it goes back to, hey, I'm working, let's say 14 hours a day, but I'm working at 60% of my capability. So really that means I'm working, 8 hours a day, for saying 100%. What if instead of that, I go back to my community and then I go work 12 hours a day, but I'm working at 90%. Okay. So how much more am I getting done in 2 hours less? I'm working less. I'm getting done more. I'm getting more done. Right? Perfect. That's where we want to be. That's where we want to live. Now, question 2 is what practical steps can I take if I feel overwhelmed but can't reduce my workload immediately? And this is one that I have very much struggled with because for me, I am very much an all or nothing type of guy, oftentimes. And so what I say to this, though, is start small. Schedule brief, non-negotiable times for rest and community engagement. Even short breaks can provide significant relief. And I'm laughing because I actually just got a new puppy last weekend. And man, this puppy is energetic, as all puppies are. And, she's definitely causing me a little bit of headache, a little bit of annoyance, a little bit of money with some stuff I have to get done with her. But man, she is making me more active. She's making me get outside more. She's making me feel love more, and so I genuinely believe that this dog is helping me with this. Start small, schedule brief, non-negotiable times for rest and community engagement. And what I've found is that oftentimes I've started going on several walks a day, just, walking a dog, but I love walking without headphones. right? Without just enjoying God's nature, right? But then also, dude, if you're walking 5 times a day, 2 of those times, go call a friend or go do one of your business meetings that doesn't have to be a Zoom face to face over the phone while you're on a walk, as long as you can focus, right? Especially if it's someone that pretty well, like you're not gonna mess anything up, like you guys have good rapport and whatnot. Like, dude, go take your meeting outside instead of sitting all day, 14, 16 hours a day, whatever it is, right? So number one, how can I tell if I'm working too much? Looking for signs like neglecting personal relationships, consistent fatigue, and feeling disconnected from your community or spiritual practices. Number two, practical steps you can take if you feel overwhelmed but can't reduce your workload immediately. Start small, schedule brief, non-negotiable time for rest and community engagement. And I would say even 5 minutes helps. Like, if you're actually mindful, you understand 15 minutes is a ton of time for a break. So you can even get these done in 5. Okay. So I don't want to hear, hey, I don't have 2 hours a day to, walk my dog or to, sunbathe or whatever, right? 5 minutes is all you need. Okay. As we wrap up today's episode, remember that being busy isn't the same as being productive. And it certainly isn't the same as being faithful in action. Consider how you can align your work with your faith and community needs to thrive. Thank you, as always, for tuning in to the Reborn podcast. Let's continue to support each other in faith and action. Until next time, stay engaged and don't forget to take those vital steps towards balance. Thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you guys here next time. Share this episode with a friend who you think can take value, and have a blessed week. This is Tony Boutros, out.